Hi, this presentation introduces information literacy vocabulary. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to define information literacy terms and recognize examples of information literacy concepts in the world around you. It is useful to understand the distinctions between data, information, and knowledge. We often hear that information surrounds us everywhere we look, but what is information, really? Information is not data. Technically, data consists of numbers, temperatures, times, and individual facts, similar to what you might gather in a scientific laboratory. People often qualify it as raw because they are the individual pieces or facts that have not been interpreted. In our textbook, William Badke may use the term data in the way I would use the word information. In some instances, he may use data as we define it here as the facts or individual pieces we find in our sources of information and want to cite in our own work. I suppose we can forgive him if he uses the term data a little loosely. Information, on the other hand, interprets or conveys the data or facts in a meaningful way and can be found in books, articles, and websites, just to name a few. Therefore, information can be found in the same places for researchers in any field: newspapers, websites, scholarly articles, and books. Data is different for each discipline. While a biologist may go into the field to collect their data in the form of water samples from rivers and streams, what they call riparian research, a historian may look for data such as names, dates, or places in primary sources such as diaries, newspapers, letters, official documents, etc. Put another way, data is recorded in primary sources, while information is found in secondary sources. Therefore, primary sources may be different for each discipline, but secondary sources are generally the same. Knowledge is a debatable concept, but I like to think of it residing within individuals after they have read, interpreted, and basically processed information, including information from personal experience. A student once posted the following quote by Miles Kington to the class forum: "Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad." Take a few seconds to test yourself. Which of the following is the term described when a person understands something? Is it A, information, B, data, C, knowledge, or D, wisdom? Pause the video if you need time. If you chose knowledge, then you are correct. Knowing something often comes after personal experience or studying information found in books, on the internet, or in articles. Data could be thought of as the building blocks or elements of information in any discipline. Wisdom seems to be the proper application of what we know. Information is true to everyone. It's everywhere. For example, if I say that Shoshone Falls is located in south-central Idaho and attracts tourists every year, that is a fact that everyone could agree with. Next comes misinformation. It's true to the sender, but not for the receiver. Some romantic comedies have written examples of information into their plots. If the couple agreed to look each other up in a few years and wrote the date as 4/9/19, then one could interpret this as April 9th, and the other could think this would be September 4th, according to military or European modes of date writing. In both cases, it is true to the sender, but false to the receiver. Isn't that fascinating? You probably already guessed that misinformation can be synonymous with misunderstandings. They are not intentional. Spam and advertising also fall under this category of misinformation. If I keep getting ads to go see the most recent romantic comedy, but I really want to see the action and adventure films, then the romantic movies are irrelevant to me. A lie is considered to be disinformation. It is false for the sender and true to the receiver. Propaganda spread by governments falls within this category, as well as information that politicians want us to believe that they know to be false. Any lie that is believed is disinformation. In the pie chart on the right, everything may look good at first glance, but when all the numbers are added together, they add up to more than 100%. How can that be right? Plus, there are only 4 quarters in a year. Why do they have 5? Disinformation is intentional and sometimes malicious. Naturally, there are different types of false information. Sometimes people deliberately lie in order to make us believe something. A hoax qualifies as an example. This can be malicious. It is called disinformation. Misinformation typically is not malicious. Instead, it is an honest mistake. Taking the time to verify the facts can help you know if something is true or not. Therefore, internet claims that a woman mistook expanding foam insulation as mousse to style her hair are unproven. Moral of the story: check the evidence first before believing or sharing. Non-information is an obvious lie that both the sender and receiver recognize as false. Comedians often produce a lot of laughs by sharing non-information that everyone knows is false. Many jokes fall under this category, including the infamous jackalope of the western United States. It is a cross between a jackrabbit and an antelope. If you see one around, be sure to take a picture and let me know. Take a few seconds to read and answer this question. Pause the video if you need more than a few seconds. If you chose disinformation, you are correct. It is a lie that people receive as a truth. Lies and propaganda are considered disinformation and can be both malicious and intentional. Watch the video again if you need a refresher on the other terms. Let's talk about information literacy. Have you ever heard this term or phrase before you came to college? It is not the most common idea out there. We know that literacy is the ability to read and write. When connected with another word or modifier, it describes basic competence in that skill or area. For example, computer literacy describes a basic ability to use a computer, navigate the internet, and other online skills. In that spirit, information literacy involves a basic ability to know when and how much information is needed, be able to find it, evaluate it, and use it ethically and effectively to get something done. In this class, we will provide opportunities for you to develop greater information literacy skills. This requires practice, receiving feedback, correcting mistakes, and more practice. In a book called The Talent Code, Daniel Coyle asks how super talented people get to be so skilled. He says that it has less to do with their environment or genetic code and more to do with the kinds of deep practice they do. He argues that the growth of myelin that wraps around our nerve fibers helps us to develop skills. The more we practice, the more our myelin grows and helps us master a skill. In other words, you can develop and strengthen your skills of searching, summarizing, evaluating, and documenting information, just like any other skill. What do you think? Why is information literacy important in this information-bombarded world? Take a moment to think about this question. Pause the video to give yourself some time. What came to mind first? Employers want employees who can collaborate with a team to solve problems. This requires research beyond just simple searches in your favorite internet search engine. Seeking information from colleagues, databases, books, company manuals, etc. are all part of today's workplace. Employers value employees who go a little deeper to find patterns and connections among different sources. As one employer explained, a comprehensive research approach is essential because it solves immediate problems and also sheds light on related issues critical for future work, the lifeblood of any organization. Information literacy skills assist individuals in necessary purchases, insurance choices, medical concerns, and so much more, not to mention helping you find better deals and solutions more quickly. For college students, learning how to use one's college library can lead to better grades and higher chances of graduation. Did you think of other reasons not mentioned here? Please consider sharing them with me or the class. I would like to know why you think information literacy skills are or are not important in today's world. The 5 main parts of information literacy involve needing, finding, evaluating, understanding, and using information. Be sure to watch the video that explains the information literacy skills in more depth. Thank you for watching this video defining information literacy vocabulary. Please post to the class forum in Moodle or email me if you have any questions. You may certainly watch parts of the video again if any of the vocabulary terms are still unclear. Here are some of the sources cited and consulted in this video. Have a great day, and we will see you in the forums.